Yeah. Count it, brother.
5, 4, 3,
1.
1. Wildly uninteresting podcast.
Wow.
Welcome to episode 48.
Oh,
48.
I'm not wild.
The Wildly
Yes,
Uninteresting. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is a conversation podcast, one that invokes thought.
We
and,
be talking.
You know,
We
an
attempt to
alternative way
invoke
of
thought.
thinking
Yeah.
for the simple man who likes comedy and
Up
nonsense.
is down, down is
Oops.
black, and lamps are cars.
That's
We don't
right.
have any rhyme or reason as to why this podcast is what it is, but hopefully you like it. And if you don't watch it. But if you do,
Well, if you
leave
don't
a
like
comment
it, you can fuck yourself.
and help us out. Coming up with content for your viewing pleasure.
Hey, and if you do like it, you should still help us come up with content because we want to talk about what you want to talk
Yes.
about.
And if you do like it, you should also fuck yourself, but in a pleasant
Oh,
way.
you've already lost.
Yeah, he said it twice now.
Yeah.
Well,
I set
So
out
you-
to lose. I don't give a shit.
darn.
Deck
Just
the
move
halls.
forward from this point.
Well,
Deck the
that's-
halls with
Okay.
love and laughter.
I'm marking
Love
them.
dog.
mark it down. He's a terrible human, everybody. We try
Jack
to
the
stay away
halls
from the
with
F word.
balls and slaughter. Fa la 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 la.
And the other one that starts with God and ends with a certain word.
God ham.
God ham.
Oh, he makes the best hams.
Oh, cheese and rice. Have you ever noticed, though, there's not a, when you replace cuss words with, like, cheese and rice, like
Right.
something
Feed you,
goofy,
Butch.
it doesn't give you that satisfactory
No.
feeling of saying a cuss word. Cuss words are just so powerful. Why
Yeah.
are they so powerful?
Dropping the F-bomb is way better than all figgle sticks.
Is it because we're
Fiddlesticks.
taught from a young age that it's naughty to do that and you should step away from that? And that's why we like doing naughty things. It's like drugs. They tell you for so long to don't do them. They're terrible. You'll feel a euphoric high and all your problems will dissolve away. Don't do
love
them.
it. Don't do
Don't
it.
do them. The entire time you're sitting there thinking about doing it. I had a girlfriend one time, my first girlfriend actually, very serious thing. It lasted for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Her parents went out of their way to try to keep us apart because they come from a little bit of money. We were broke as hell. They didn't want her around me that much, you know.
Yeah.
And they were afraid that we were going to get pregnant. But the more they kept us away from each other, the more we wanted to be together. And when we were together, we were like rabid animals just mauling each other because we didn't get to see each other often. I even had a family member that was like, "Are you trying to get him pregnant?" So the more you stop somebody from doing something or tell like don't do something, the more a human being wants to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially if they're spiteful.
Oh yeah, they do it
yeah.
just because. Even if they don't like the thing that
Yeah.
you told them not to do.
Don't eat my mac and cheese. Well, I'm gonna now.
Well, guess who's eating mac and cheese tonight?
So there was something on this battery,
Right?
and it's on my finger, and I licked it.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Just a little bit of battery acid.
Yeah.
It's never hurt anybody. Remember when you used to shoot up meth?
It's
Kind of the
not the
same
same
deal.
thing. It's not the same thing. I've never shot up meth. I've only ever smoked it
Oh.
and snorted it.
Yeah.
That ain't battery. That's not battery acid. That's something else. That was like on the outside of it and then got on the inside.
Snorting it would be terrible.
Oh, it burns
Yeah,
like
it
a
feels like a
motherfucker.
mule kicked you in the face.
Definitely doesn't feel good. I tell you that.
No, man. But that's
I'm
something
nervous,
about
dude.
humans. Here, you can give it to me.
Whatever.
don't
You
have
guys
be
want to
nervous
hear
anymore.
about a thing?
Yeah,
I'm nervous. I seriously think, what if I die? Like,
No,
I
you're not gonna
seriously, I guess my tongue would like,
Yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be
Do
burning
something
and
right
shit
now.
You'll be
stuff.
feeling something.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
fine.
It's not
Give
going
me
to
the
kill
button.
you and then make no sign on the way in. Sarah's going to live! Yeah.
I'm
All
alive.
right.
Okay.
So you're gonna share something with us?
Yeah. Well, I saw
the
a story.
higher I get, the
there
more
was this,
sense it makes. Sorry.
There was this teacher lady in Texas, and which there's a side complaint about this. I found the article on Yahoo, but it didn't say what grade she taught.
Oh.
It just said what happened here was inappropriate for children of that age, but it didn't say what grade. So, shoddy
Interesting.
journalism in that sense.
Yeah.
But whatever. The point is, there's a teacher in Texas, and she was showing like a slideshow of like her life or vacation or something, and telling the kids. Turns out she's a lesbian, and she's engaged to her girlfriend lady.
Yeah.
And there was just a picture of them like sitting on the couch together. They're just like happy, smiling, and it's not like they're all lovey-dovey and shit. It's like she's here, and they're like, yeah.
Wow.
She got put on like some kind of probation or whatever. Like she couldn't teach.
That's
Really?
stupid.
And they're like, I feel like they may have fined her or something. But either way, it was not good.
Find her.
Yes, but
Here's a fine.
it was because it's Texas and
no
they're fuckers down there, and they complained because they were like, our kids shouldn't be seeing this. One mom complained that it was propaganda, like she was trying to convert them.
Whatever,
So-
dude.
Is Texas still that behind?
I mean,
in the social aspect.
But she's got a lawyer now.
good.
The
And they've been
lesbian?
making a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she's fine.
Yeah.
But this is good news.
Hell yes.
Dude, I saw that and I was like, what the hell?
Well, and if
crazy.
the parents hadn't made a big deal about it, like the kids probably, I mean, did she say, which it doesn't matter if she did or not, but did she say, this is me and my fiance?
I feel like she did.
I mean, it doesn't
Still
matter.
Yeah, who
doesn't
gives a
matter.
shit?
Yeah.
Is
but-
Texas? Do they do gay marriage in Texas now? I thought they did.
I feel like they do everywhere.
Yeah, I thought that was like a general. You can do it.
They just take less kindly to it.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. I guess it's still a religious state too.
Yeah,
You know.
good old South.
Yeah, whatever.
Probably
They
a
can
lot of
have it.
Catholics there with all the Mexicans.
Oh, definitely a lot of Catholics in
know.
Texas.
She got $100,000 settlement.
Fuck yeah.
Good.
Stacey Bailey had been accused of promoting a homosexual agenda after talking about her fiance during a get to know your teacher presentation. That's so stupid.
I know.
I watched a video of a teacher, and I don't know where this teacher was from, but she came out with a video, and she actually got fired for coming out with this video telling that, warning parents that the new curriculum that they're pressing upon teachers for kids, it's something to do with controlling a conformist agenda of some sort. Like they're trying to teach the kids like conformity and getting in line and stamping out creativity. But
Cue up.
there's a video. I'll try to put the link in the bio, but. Yeah, dude, she got fired because she come out and she refused to teach that way. She refused to use their curriculum and like their slides and their videos and all that because it was promoting, just getting in line.
I'm an educator, not a washer of brains.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah, pretty much like brainwashing. What's it when you have somebody
Washer of brains. I was like,
somebody in power and you have to be subservient to them? Whatever that word is. I wrote it down somewhere, but
Subordinate.
no, yeah, kind of same
obedient.
thing. Yeah, obedience.
Obedient. Yeah.
They're teaching kids to be more
That's right.
obedient,
Yeah.
which is
see.
it's terrible, man.
Well, I mean, reasonably, you should have some level of obedience, but at the same time, disregard it.
Right.
I was like, yeah.
What?
The idea,
don't make sense.
it's like, oh,
Hell
the
yeah.
school systems are just there to get kids in line and all this stuff. But if there's not order, then we don't really have a society that's functioning as highly as it could.
Right.
So you need to have that ability and just know that that's how it goes. And then whenever you're all like, no, this isn't right, then you can disregard it.
But what is the law that like? Why do we need a
Bird
system?
law.
Why do we need a
We need
government?
a
Why
system
do we
so
need
that so that everything works smoothly
Well,
and
'cause
we can have
otherwise-
all this bigger stuff.
Yeah, it would certainly just be anarchy. I mean, people
think?
would just be, yes, I
Yes.
do.
It's
I
like if you
completely do.
picture you living by yourself as opposed to living with her,
Yeah.
this wouldn't be.
No.
Right.
It's the collective that makes it happen.
Right.
You can, yeah. The
I'd
sum
be
is
eating
greater
Hot
than the
Pockets.
parts, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess, but you
I
never
mean,
truly know unless we went there one time.
Well, you
and
can
got
look
rid
in
of
the
government.
jungles of the world.
Yeah.
But they do
Yeah.
pretty well. I wonder. So if you go on Amazon and you go, say, stay with a tribe for a month, right? Because they govern themselves. They don't pay for the land. They don't make each
Oh,
other
I
pay
need this one
taxes
too.
and stuff. So I wonder if you go there, do they treat their tribe as if it was a government? You know what I mean? Like, you got to pay me a certain amount of chickens to live in that
No,
hut over there.
no, I
They'll
would
just
say
have the collective chickens.
yeah.
I feel like they just have like a community cauldron, and they make it up all big, and then
Chicken cauldron.
Chicken cauldron.
Um,
I would like to do that for a month. Go stay with a tribe for a month.
I
See
don't
what they're
think I
about.
would want to.
No, it's not your kind of thing.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
I think it'd be
guess it could be cool if, as long as I can leave, like easily. Like, what if something crazy happens and then I'm just fucked? And they're like, well, shit.
Oh man,
You've dropped 3 already though, so
another one bites the
I could drop
dust.
more than that.
That just goes to show you how integrated the F word is into your vocabulary.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
when you're physically trying to stop doing it, and then like it just comes out.
I think part of the
I'm here.
problem too, though, is that this is the only time that I actually make an attempt. So I'm not thinking about it any other time. I just speak however I want.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing here as well. But, you know, it would be nice to make an honest attempt.
Honest.
But staying with the tribe for a month, if something were to happen, I don't feel like they would
There or
protect
here?
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you got like a lion attack,
Yeah. I mean, maybe they would. But
if she dies, we can eat her.
right? I don't know that they would necessarily just like purposefully like fall back. I mean, like whatever happens, happens. But
Yeah. I feel like they'd be pretty welcoming of you and try to protect you.
yeah,
I think they would be more welcoming to the fact like you're from the Western world and they want to teach you the ways of their people because they live off the land, they appreciate the land, they give back, they plant, they
Don't let this shit die.
I guess
Spread
as,
it to your people.
as long as I'm willing to like pull my weight, that they probably would
Yeah.
be like, all right, you're
You
one
can't
of
just
us.
sit back with a magazine.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't
Fan
do
me
that.
and feed
Yeah.
me stuff.
I could just stay here and ask Adam to do that for me.
I think it's a custom too to bring like a gift.
Here's a nickel. I'm your
Oh,
queen.
cool.
You gift them with all your clothes and stuff.
Yeah, I could show up, like, bring a goat, bring clothes, bring
Yeah.
anything. I
You'd
mean,
be like,
Here's some Taco Bell I got
Oh.
at the airport.
Taco Bell.
so that's a lot
This
of
shit is delicious.
delicious.
And you got a village full of people just pooping everywhere.
Yeah. Wow, what is
So
this?
It was so good on the way down.
I don't know, man, but I think they'd be welcoming to that fact, but would definitely I don't know. I don't think they'd be there for you if a lion ate you because they'd be like, well, that's the cycle of life.
Yeah.
You know, you
Better
came,
her
you
than my
saw, you
child.
got eaten.
At least I feel like the lion would make it pretty quick.
Yeah.
I would assume. Hey.
Oh, gotcha.
I would assume in that situation, like it would just be everyone for themselves, so everyone takes off running, and you know, if you live, you live. If you don't, well, you don't.
See, I just picture like 7 dudes lined up, like shoulder to shoulder with spears. Like,
Yeah.
Let's get them.
It would
Lion ain't
definitely-
coming up in here.
It'd definitely be the first thing I do would acquire a lot of weapons.
Yeah. You just bring a Mac 11 with you and leave them with some bullets.
Make a
like-
shiv.
I'd like to know how I'm getting there with a Mac 11 on me. This is great. Please explain.
That's cool. I got a
Shove it up your
passport.
vagina.
I have a passport. Mac
Yes.
11 and my jeaner.
And
I'll
then,
pass.
yeah. So last week I had mentioned a book that I had been reading, which currently is finished. But I wanted to circle back to it because I talked a lot of crap about it. I want to throw that button in the
No.
garbage, by the way. I want to demolish that button. So
It's been used a lot today so far.
yeah, I know, man.
It's
Just
so
running out
fun.
with the batteries die. You know.
This
what I
is
mean?
why we need a system, because otherwise we just do whatever we want.
You need to be thrown in prison.
Someone imprison this bitch.
I
She doesn't
know.
respect button etiquette.
Beaten with a rubber hose.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
The book was The Meaning of Human Existence by Edward O. Wilson, right?
Oh, Wilson.
Oh,
And
Wilson.
I was having a terrible time trying to figure out through the chapters, like, why am I reading this? I didn't understand what he was getting at. And I'm very glad I finished it because I was almost like, you know what, screw this book. It was interesting, like the chapters were interesting. And in one portion, he mentions ayahuasca, which is the drink that, you know, the gods made.
Yeah.
But so by the end of this book, which I got to the end of the last chapter, and it was amazing because it drew it all together. And the conclusion was the story of our species does not reside in the archaic version soaked in religion and ideology.
It doesn't?
No,
Interesting.
it does not reside there.
All right.
Because it's like an epic battle between the like creationism and evolution. Well, creationism is only based on faith. Like there is no proof whatsoever.
Yeah.
There's no proof whatsoever that it actually was a thing, like it existed, and they can't recreate none of it. None of it.
Yeah.
But in evolution, he goes in to talk about in the last chapter how they have done it scientifically in a laboratory, recreated evolution,
Right.
in like the microbial sense, and then
The thing about evolution is that, it's there. I
Yeah.
support it, but arguing like creation versus evolution, it's like evolution starts on the letter B, like you have the alphabet without the beginning.
oh yeah, without the
Yeah, because I mean, with creationism, it's like, ooh, there was an intelligent designer that was like, and then there you have the stuff.
Right.
Evolution
Right.
doesn't say where the hell it came from.
But
It's
it
just,
ca-
ooh, we have singular-celled organisms that evolved over
Right.
time, but where did that singular-celled organism come from?
That's the big question. Is like, where did the beginning come from? Like,
Right.
if you go
The
as far
chicken
back,
or the
like
egg?
where did the Big Bang come from? Like, what made the Big Bang? And
Yes.
in the Bible, it doesn't really tell that. It's just the history of Earth, not as much as our universe. And a lot of Christians don't believe that there is a universe. They believe that the Earth is, you have a heaven and a hell, and then that's it. A lot of them do. The vast majority of them. Then you have a lot that they go along with it just because of the tribal sense, which he goes into that too, about how we love. It's in our DNA to be within tribes. Like, I'm going to create a group of people. I want to be superior to that group, right? And for you to join, I need you to have a faithful understanding of the history of this group, and it makes you morally superior to the rest of the world. So anybody that's not in this group can go to hell. Like they're going to burn, they're going to die. With us, you have everlasting life in the Holy Land for all of eternity, blah, 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 right?
All that good shit.
So apparently through evolution, we have created this need, this want for that tribal mindset, right? It's part of our, how we survive. It's in our DNA. But with that, we love tribal conflict, like conflict within. Apparently, he speaks of it like it's in our DNA to worry about the other person. Like, how a lot of people love the Kardashians and
Right.
what's going on in the neighbor's
Bad boy
life.
is a
and
staff, a record label, man, is a motherfucker.
keeping
That's
up,
right.
keeping up with the Joneses,
Yeah.
And in that sense, it's kind of in our DNA to have conflict within that. We love it. We love conflict within our tribes, right?
Yeah.
But it's a downfall of ours that we love to get in these tribes and think we're morally superior to the other
Right.
tribe. When in general, we're all a part of one huge biometric system.
Crap
You know what I mean?
bag.
Crap bag. So, so it says that in the last chapter, he was like, we should not succumb to the thrall of tribal organized religions led by men who claim supernatural power in order to compete for the obedience and resources of the faithful, right? So it's where that obedience came in. It blows me away because not only do they preach that there, but in your government, you have this form of obedience. But with the Christian church, they were like, this is another form. So you have school that teaches you when you're young, and you have religion that teaches you when you're young to be obedient and serve the greater good of, the government and keep the system running. Right. And then as you get older, it's so hard to get out of that. If I feel wrong when I don't go to church. Like I talked to her, I was like, hey, I'm going to go to this church. I felt wrong for not being in the church, but it dawned on me like, the fuck's it?
Oh, funny! Yeah!
Got him.
I quit.
It only took 3 weeks, but you dropped an
Dang.
F-bomb. Woo!
I don't know if I got the K out.
He's fired.
You got the C.
Yeah, you
it
said
counts.
the C. I said that chick was thick. I didn't say she was thick.
That's right.
Duty.
Oh, I'm
give
so
up.
happy now.
I give up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Strange. I think you saying the F word in that. No, he liked it. The F word in that moment is the happiest I've been on this podcast.
I know.
nice, real
Yes.
nice.
It's awesome.
All right, so this guy, is he essentially like a scientifically based humanist?
Kind of, sort of. So the whole wrapped up into one, the idea behind the book is saying that science and humanities are one,
Right.
because currently science and humanities are separated in school. They're separated in all teachings, but he thinks and he believes that they're both one and the same. Like they have to work together, and they're not independent things.
Yeah.
So that's the general thing. But I loved how the last chapter was pretty much shitting all over religion, and how he said,
I challenge God to a cage match at SummerSlam.
That'd be awesome.
but calling it a supernatural story, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's actually by chance and necessity that our species evolved out of the millions of species that could have evolved. Like we're here because we evolved, not because of some supernatural story, and based in
Yes.
ideology. But I thought I'd circle back to it because, if you read the book, give it to the end
Right?
before you throw it out.
Yes, and give it a shot
Give it a shot.
all the way through.
Yeah. But that's that. I always go back to religion. It's just, it plays on my mind a lot. You know what I mean? It makes you feel like you're doing something wrong when you're not in the church.
Yeah, but then once you get past that, like you're a better person for it.
Yeah.
It makes you feel a lot better not being in it. That's for sure.
Yes.
I believe I've said it on here before, but in college, I considered myself an atheist. And whenever I didn't tell anybody, like even the thought of being an atheist made me feel bad. Even though I
Yeah.
didn't believe anything, it was just what if. And it made me feel genuinely guilty that was my belief. I believed it completely, but
I never felt bad about being an
Maybe.
atheist, but once I stopped being an atheist, I felt like a bitch.
it's awesome.
Like I lost that one.
I didn't feel bad once I came back around and like stopped being an atheist. It didn't bother me. It's just like, oh, okay, well this makes more sense.
I told
I'm
a Christian guy that I was like, yeah, my wife is like atheist, agnostic, whatever. She believes in something bigger, but she just don't know what it is. And he was like, no, she's not. She's not. She just hasn't been to the right church. And I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I bet you got the right one, don't you,
Yeah.
Bucko?
Oh, he did. He was like, you got to come to mine and come to these youth group meetings and blah, blah. I'm like, ain't going to happen,
She's in her
bro.
30s.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that.
Yeah. I was like, she can decide on her own. I don't want to like lead her.
Right.
Sheep.
I stand by it that, I mean, maybe I might change. I don't know if, we change
Yeah.
all the time.
Life's crazy.
Yeah. And I've been baptized twice in two different churches.
Which just didn't take, did it?
I got baptized in Mom's church, which was Baptist, and I got baptized in mine that it was just,
The question is,
Christian.
so what happened within that baptism? Why did you get baptized twice, right?
Yeah, which door do you go into heaven? Like which baptism is the one
I
that
hope there's only one.
takes precedence?
But you get what I'm saying?
going to back.
Baptism is
Yeah.
supposed to be washing of all your sins, and then you change the way you live. And blah, blah, blah.
I don't really remember the baptism at Mom's church. I feel like I was younger.
Yeah.
I know it happened because I've seen pictures of it, and I can recall being up there. But the one in my church, I actually remember, and I had a lot of questions, and they wouldn't answer them. And they
Nope.
said, "Go ahead, get baptized, and you'll learn along the
You'll learn
way."
along-
It's-
Just
Yeah.
buy this house.
That's exactly what
Then you
it
can
was.
check it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I did it. Like I was like 12 or 13 or something like
What
that.
are you gonna lose?
Yeah. So I went ahead. And that was
Everlasting
actually,
soul.
I remember that being one of my questions was that I've already been baptized. Can I do this again? And they
Yeah.
said, yeah. I mean, come
Oh,
on.
yeah.
We need
You know
to
why
do
though?
this.
Because you got baptized at a different church, so they were like, so that
It
ritual
doesn't count.
Yeah, the ritual of baptism makes you feel one and a part of this tribe.
You touched
Right.
this
This
water
grander
last
purpose.
Mm.
voluntarily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're like, if we can it's all a dog and pony show.
One half.
A half a nephew. It's a dog and pony show, man. The more that you have a ritual and all that, it feels like you're part of something, and they can brainwash you to feel like you're morally better than the people around you.
Right.
That don't do it.
It was always, even then, I felt like it was wrong, but I was young and I didn't stand up for myself or like speak my mind like I would now.
Like, oh, all these people know more than I do. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to upset them.
Oh, go ahead and do this. I already told him I was going to.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, eventually it led down the road of I'm only going to see my friends. I truly enjoyed the place, but the word that was being taught didn't matter to me. It was the people and the activity. It was the act of actually going here on Sundays and Wednesdays that I enjoyed.
It provides some good. Like it provides a road to walk on, but you shouldn't, look down on other people because they don't. Or you shouldn't even like have a second thought. And I don't believe in paying tithes. Like, I mean, if you feel the need to, do it.
Right.
But I just feel like a lot of good can come from it, and you can be on the right path. But it's not a necessity of life. Like, go watch Eric Thomas on a thing, once a month or so. You know what I mean? Like, you can do your own church.
I mean, do anything. I truly feel like they should have answered my questions because
oh yeah,
I was
Absolutely.
young and trying to grow and understand, and they just wouldn't do it. And none of my questions were ever answered, mind you. I mean,
was it a Baptist or like
no, it was a
Pentecostal?
Christian.
Just Christian based
yeah.
on it. Yeah.
What was it called? Let's yell at them.
Was it? No, what's the big one? It wasn't that one, but
Yeah.
Southeast Christian.
it might have been because it's in Indiana. It was like a Southwest, maybe. It was South something.
I feel like South something was in there. South something Christian people in Indiana. Get it together.
I spent a lot of my time there because they had their little youth area. It was the warehouse is what they called it. And they would open it up to local bands could play. And I mean, I was there all the time.
Yeah, but not for the reason that most people go to church.
Right. I mean, so it certainly did provide some good. It gave me something to do. It kept me out of trouble and everything.
Activity and community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's all anybody wants. You know what
Have
I
you ever
want?
been to church?
No. Simmer down.
We
Oh,
want-
what do you want?
Disregard this. This is
Tacos?
better. No,
Yeah.
no. I mean, yeah, but no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Then
I
what?
want to talk about that video that you sent me with the flat earther guy.
Dude.
Because I feel like Adam, this is this is right up his alley.
See, this guy's Mike Hughes. Oh, I showed it to him and I lost it.
Yes.
This guy, Mike
Dude,
Hughes, flat earther,
great. They're
turned, or stuntman turned
Yeah.
flat earther.
This is his second try, by the way. The first time almost killed him.
Yeah.
Like he was in critical condition, right?
Yes.
But I guess then his safety mechanism actually worked. But if you see this video, dude,
Yeah.
like you can't help but laugh at how like Roadrunner type crap.
Yes.
Like it's just
like-
beyond me.
Oh, he's going. Look at him.
Yeah.
There's the stream of like smoke or whatever. He's getting it.
Yes.
Oh, that didn't look
No.
good.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's out of the cloud line.
I love that you can see it in
And then
the
it's over.
in the
Don't do that.
Sorry. It did feel excessive.
Yeah, don't do that.
I love that you can see it off in the distance, this little, little bitty dot, and then that cloud of smoke. Definitely should have had Acme on the back end of that.
Yes.
You know what I
You
mean?
see the parachute floating away and everything. Like you can
Yeah,
tell
the
this is a
parachute
problem.
deploys immediately. Like as soon as the engine takes off, like
Yeah.
the parachute's just gone. Like he didn't even have a backup plan. Nothing.
No, he didn't. So that's what I wanted to know was what was his backup plan? So here's his arrogance is insane to me because the whole reason he did it was he wanted to prove that there was nothing beyond our atmosphere. Okay, so boom, we're flat.
Yeah.
Let's just say you're wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say
Hypothetically.
wholeheartedly, you 100%, like you believe the earth is flat. There's nothing beyond our atmosphere.
Yeah.
What's your plan when you get to the atmosphere? What's
I
going to
know.
happen?
Yeah.
And what if there is something beyond the atmosphere? What's your plan? Because you have no oxygen then.
Yeah.
If what's out there is true, then you have no oxygen. You're going to burn up, dude. You have nothing protecting you from the heat that you're about to go through. I don't understand his arrogance. his thinking. I need to know. I'm so sad he's dead,
I was
and I
just saying
can't write him a
now you
letter.
can't know.
What's his
No.
name?
Because-
Mike Hughes.
Hughes, yes.
Mike Hughes, if your ghost is out there anywhere,
Give us a
Ghost.
call,
yeah,
man.
give us a call.
I would love to talk to you.
That was my biggest question. Like once he gets out of, he had no plan for outer space either. No spacesuit, no helmet, no nothing. He was just like,
Yep.
I'm gonna figure it out.
He's
He
like,
was,
I'm getting up there.
yeah.
I just why not if it's flat, then why not just get a car and a boat and just find the end of it?
Just drive.
Yeah.
That's so much easier than building a
Than
rocket
dying.
and shooting yourself at the atmosphere.
I'm so glad it happened though. He's so stupid.
I couldn't believe it. Like, it's horrible. Like, it's tragic as a human when a human dies, but I laughed.
See, when I thought it was
Oh,
his
yeah, there was
first
no way not.
attempt, I was
Yes.
a little more sympathetic. But now that I know he tried
Oh,
it
yeah.
before,
That's the second
no,
time.
he can eat shit. He had it coming.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely did. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you went to Antarctica, right, the South Pole,
Yeah.
is where they say all those like government facilities are and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like, use the money that you built that rocket with. Like, get all the money together, and you all go, and
Yeah.
then. Take 20 down there. That way, if 19 of you die, at least there's one that can
There's
come back and tell
someone
the
who
story.
can tell
Yeah.
the story.
Somebody's got to carry the bodies.
He'd rather shoot himself in the rocket. That is so unintelligent.
Yeah.
He
Here's-
pretty much was like, I'm going to die.
Definitely exciting though.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
ready
yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dying for what you believe in, so like
Talk about a
cool
cause,
power to
dude.
you, but
Mad Dog Mike.
so here's a quote. When the rocket was nosediving and he didn't release the 3 other parachutes he had in the rocket,
What?
lots of people screamed out and started wailing. Everyone was stunned when he crashed and didn't know what to do.
I wonder if he was just like, you know what? I'm going to go out in the blaze of glory.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done being wrong. I'm just gonna die.
I'm going to go down in the history books.
I wonder if he had...
Idiot.
This says, like our prayers go out to the family and stuff. I wonder if he was married. Did he have kids or anything like that? I can't imagine being that guy's wife. If you were trying to shoot yourself into space to prove the earth was flat, I would punch you in the face every day.
I would love to see her
Every
though.
day.
She's supportive.
I know.
Yes, I believe in you, baby.
She probably took out $1 million policy on him and was just
I
like,
definitely
hey,
have $1 million
go for
policy
it.
My
on
man's
you.
going to space.
Yeah, go for it. I don't care what you
He's
believe
not
in.
coming back.
I wonder, so is that considered suicide? Or is that a freak accident? Because technically, let's face it, he knew before he shot himself in a rocket. Like,
I thought he
that
was gonna do
suicide?
it.
you thought he
It
was
was-
going
I
to
say
make
that's freak accident.
I
yeah,
told
it would
her-
have to be freak
So
accident.
the
yeah.
rockets that make it into orbit, right,
Right.
have these huge, massive amounts of fuel. Huge rockets. They have 2 boosters and then a rocket that carries them the rest of the way,
Shit's like
right?
breaking off as
Yeah.
it's going.
Yeah.
Like
This dude had like one engine that ran off of like gasoline, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Yep, I'm gonna make it now." Like, what? I just don't understand. I want to understand, but I can't.
Is
I
the
really
radiator
want
in
to.
that rocket?
the radiator exploded. That was the problem. Goodness
I'd give it up to the
gracious.
guy though. Like, what a I mean, literally like taking it to the limit for something that you believe in. Like if everybody else had the same motivation and momentum that that guy had, we as a people in the Western world would be a lot further along. But regrettably, we don't.
No. It's a shame there's not more Mike Hugheses out there.
That's true.
It's still unclear whether the parachute's malfunction had caused the rocket's failure. Hughes had attempted at least one other similar DIY rocket launch stunt before in 2018 when the wannabe astronaut managed to reach about 1,900 feet in the sky. He made it
Yeah.
out alive. Then after he landed back on Earth made it out alive. Then okay, you need punctuation.
So I wonder how high he went this time. Does it say like how far he reached this time?
Let's see.
I wonder if like when he was coming back down and he could actually see the curve of the earth. I wonder if he got high enough to see the curve. That way he could finally be like, oh shit.
Yeah, maybe he saw it and was like, I'm just gonna
Oh.
off myself because everything
Life
I've been
don't
fighting
make
for.
sense.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I can see that. That's the better explanation. He's just
How
like,
is it spherical?
my life has been a lie.
There's a documentary called Rocket Man that's about him.
Rocket Man.
Right?
He would have never got that if he lived.
According to James Van Lack, a former senior official at the Office of Commercial Space Transportation under the Federal Aviation Administration, who helped Hughes lawfully perform his rocket launches, the agency's general counsel determined that since Hughes's rocket used a ramp as its main propulsion system, his stunt did not meet the legal definition of a rocket launch. That's why he was able to do this. He did it all legally.
Awesome.
But it used a ramp
Man.
to help him, shoot up. That's why he didn't have, I guess, a whole bunch of fuel and stuff because he used a ramp.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
He's the smartest idiot the world's ever known.
I just don't
Now I'm
even.
sad he's dead.
I know,
Rest in peace,
man.
Mike Hughes.
Yes. A moment of silence for Mike Hughes.
That's crazy, though. Yeah, I
Or
put that.
not.
Oh, God.
I know.
You disrespectful bastard.
I said it and he instantly started.
This,
I love it.
if that guy, we'll put that link in the bio, so
For
everybody
sure.
gets to watch.
If anybody wants to see
amazing
that
video.
messed up video.
Video
You want to watch a man die? Click below.
You can love how you can separate yourself from a man's death, execution, suicide, whatever you want to call it. Like, just by how funny the video is of him
Yeah.
crashing, it's like that guy died in there.
He
like,
died.
Have you ever
It's too
watched the
funny to be
video
tragic.
of Dale Earnhardt Sr. hitting the wall and dying? Have you ever watched it? I watched it like a million times because I'm like, how the hell did this pussy die hitting the wall? You wouldn't even be able to tell
Right.
like it was that much of an impact.
Right.
But I guess like
how
his
many
neck
times
and-
have you hit this wall, dude?
Yeah.
Was he internally decapitated or did he just
broke his neck.
I think he was just an old man.
Yeah. He didn't have good
done.
neck muscles. Neck muscles.
he should have been like strengthening that shit.
Yeah. But I've watched that and you know the guy died in the car.
Right.
And it's like, well, pretty funny.
You guys ever see that guy that shot himself in the head like on a press conference that was on TV?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's good.
That was crazy. When I watched that, I didn't know that it was gonna show it.
Oh.
It was right then.
Oh,
I had no idea. So I'm sitting here watching and I'm like, what in the world just occurred?
Yeah.
Oh, that is making a statement.
Yeah, dude.
I got on a trip of watching like some of these school shootings that they have on like Vimeo and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was one of this kid in the classroom. He's shooting. And then he goes to shoot himself in the head one time, and the bullet, you can see it hit the thing, and dust falls down on him.
Yeah.
And then he goes to do it again, and it's out. Well, then he reloads, and he finally doesn't, and just drops. But it's like you can separate yourself when it's a video for some reason. I don't know.
Yes.
And there are some things that maybe it's because we've seen like TV and movies and all this stuff where they show scenes, so we're like desensitized to the falseness of it. But then when it actually happens, it's whether it's exactly like the movies or exactly opposite. There's something that's just kind of like, oh,
It's a little less bloody. It's
Yeah.
definitely a little quieter.
it seems fake.
It does look fake.
Yeah.
It's, Elon Musk said that he knows that the pictures from space are real because it looks so fake.
Yeah.
I think it's the same aspect. Like real life kind of is like, it doesn't look
Yeah.
real because we see it all the time on movies.
Movies have to make stuff look real or you wouldn't
Yeah.
believe it's happening. You'd be like, oh,
Right.
that's bullshit.
That's all grody. That's
Yeah.
that's not real.
We
How'd
watched,
this guy get shot? I didn't see any fire coming out of the end of the gun.
we watched a guy on he was on death row and he was talking about shooting this guy in the head and he was like, it's not like you see in the movies and they just drop. They were like, he went down to his knee and then down to his stomach and he was real slow and he could still like mutter things out. And so
Yeah.
he was like, I didn't know what to do. It scared me. It wasn't like the videos.
Yeah.
Like movies. He's like, he didn't drop.
Was that
Yeah.
the guy? He lived for like 2 days out there. Was that the same guy?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But he shot him in the head, like blew his stuff all the way off.
Yeah.
He was alive when they took him to the hospital. Like so weird things
God.
happen, man.
Yeah.
You gotta
Makes
be
you
better
wonder-
at killing people than
I would
that.
say it,
Seriously.
it makes you question like shooting yourself in the head to kill yourself. Like,
Well,
yeah,
that's
but
what
you better get it right.
shouldn't do that. I just don't get people shooting themselves. I guess I understand because
I
when
totally
you're
get it.
when you're
It's just a
doing
shotgun.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
that doesn't work
better
all the
spread.
time.
Yeah, you saw that shit off, you know, you go, you're done.
Doesn't always work.
You're done. I bet it has a higher success
Well, yeah, I
rate.
mean, in the sense that, like,
Yeah.
there's an exception to every rule, but
Right.
I'd say at least 99% of the time.
But certainly, I understand if you're going to commit suicide that you're not, obviously, one, you're not thinking, okay,
Rational, yeah.
you're not thinking exactly rational. So, just why in the world would you not acquire drugs?
Yeah.
Feel excellent and then just be done with life. If you're going to seriously do so, I'm not promoting suicide. Please don't. Like, I mean, if this is seriously something that you're thinking about, you need to talk to somebody because it does get better.
Or just leave in the comments below.
But why would anyone ever shoot themselves in the head? That is crazy to me.
I think it's like you said, it's irrational, right? And they do it, and they're like, well, it's going to be immediate. Like if they took drugs and stuff, you have all that window of time to regret it and call the doctor.
I
or
fear
call.
I would have the thing where like, you know, like, oh, I'm really hopped up on drugs, and then I get euphoric. I'm like, man, I love life. Oh man.
Oh man.
When you know, see,
Goodness
and then you
gracious.
would regret it and want to go back, and it's, you know, what do you do?
I guess then it's like accessibility as well. So not everyone can acquire drugs easily.
Yeah, because I mean, if you could acquire drugs that easily, then life probably wouldn't be that
Wouldn't be that
depressing.
bad.
Right?
I'm on drugs all the time.
Oh, this is awesome.
They said that the majority of, or pretty much all of the people who jump off the bridge, like the Golden Gate Bridge, and survive, they said that they immediately regretted it the minute their foot left the edge of the bridge.
Although I feel like that's not necessarily like a long-term regret that they have, but it's like whenever you do something stupid and then you're like, oh shit, I have to live with the consequences. But then like once the dust settles, you're like, oh, I'm glad I did that stupid thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it sucked at the time, but life's better now.
Yeah.
It could be that. I don't know. I've never done it, so I don't know.
You should try. No, that one side. That's what I always tell her. Like what the drugs and going in and out of jail and in prison and all that. Like at the time, like it sucked. Like it was terrible. But I'm glad now that it happened. Like I wouldn't change it. You know.
Right?
Well, when I overdosed, which it was not intentional at all, there was very little euphoria. I remember finally, like when it hit me, because I mean, I was IV user, it hit me and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then Camille looked at me and she said, are you okay? And I didn't have the chance to even say anything and I fell out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was like instant, essentially. Well, not instant. It was probably, a minute. It actually was a lot longer than I expected it to be before anything happened.
Yeah.
But there were no thoughts of, oh, I'm going to regret this decision. No, it was, this feels good. Something's wrong. I'm
That's
out.
probably the big difference between like taking a bunch of pills and then shooting up. Like, you know what I mean? Shooting up is pretty much immediate
it's
too.
instant. I just assume if someone's going to kill themselves with drugs, it would be IV. I guess that's probably
A
not
lot
the
of
case.
assumptions here.
I know.
It's not how it works.
I'm gonna need a giant morphine drip. That's what Vic always said.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I'll go
God
out.
bless.
That's when I get hooked
Goodness.
up to a giant morphine drip and put all kinds of drugs in me, and I'm out. Hell yeah!
Is he
Let me
still
out this
kicking?
place.
Of course, he's still kicking.
Yeah. I saw him one time randomly. It was Warped Tour, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
For how do you see someone at Warped Tour in like a different city? I don't know. Well, just we saw
in Chicago.
a patient, in Chicago. How's
the
that
Riot
happen?
Fest.
That's crazy.
Riot Fest. It's crazy when that happens.
Yeah, it's very odd. I'm literally nowhere close to home.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna plug in some videos here. You ready?
Right, yeah.
They were TED videos, which everybody and their mom watches TED videos, like the TED Talks, TEDx, TED Ed, all that crap, right? They're very good videos. If you get a chance, watch all of them. They're great. Not all of them. Some of them are just
Yeah, some of them are duty, but as an institute, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean they did really
Duty
well
Institute.
with the people they picked. So I picked one to plug in, and it is
Good job.
TED. It's Greg Gage, Gregage, Greg Gage, right?
Gauge.
It's electrical experiments with plants.
Yeah.
And so the
Cool.
basis of the thing, and he hooks them up to electrodes like the EKG, like that would read our pulses,
your
electromagnetic pulses in the heart. So he does that to Venus flytrap and a mimosa plant. Mimosa is the plant that you derive like DMT from and all that. Same plant, right?
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Because I'm just like, hey, brunch.
That's what he said. He said it's not the drink in the
Yeah.
beginning of the video. But anyways, they communicate with electromagnetic pulses, right? The Venus flytrap, every time you hit one of the sensors inside the trap, it actually counts. So it'll count and see that it wants to make sure that it's actually a living thing that it's going to eat and that it, contains the nutrients it needs, and then it'll close. But he can read on an EKG the electromagnetic pulses that are coming out of the plant. So a mimosa, I didn't know this, but if you touch the leaves on a mimosa, it closes up. And then if you hit the top of the plant, the branch will fall, right?
I pictured you with a crowbar in your hand, and I was obsessed. Like, why are you hitting it so hard?
You could just tap it. Just tap.
At the end, I'm going to, it's a spoiler alert. I can't talk today. But he hooks he connects the Venus flytrap to the mimosa, right? To each branch on the mimosa. And when he touches the sensor on the Venus flytrap, all the branches simultaneously drop on the other plant.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he proves that they can communicate to each
Yeah.
other. And it's like, well, how can plants communicate? Well, they have a system of roots that are connected with a system of mycelium, like a mushroom mycelium, to exchange nutrients and oxygen. Well, they communicate in that system as well. So
awesome.
if one is in danger, another plant will know that it's in danger because of the pulses that it brings out. Anyways, it's a great video to watch if you get a chance.
That is very cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
I really like that a lot. I wonder what got him interested in plants and
I don't know, but
experiments.
I'd watch it again for sure.
Probably a Vampire Weekend song.
No, it wasn't.
Probably not that.
You guys always team up on me.
There was another one of Alex Kempman, which I won't go into this one because I didn't really care that much. Honestly, it was pretty cool.
Shit, skip it.
Yeah.
Let's crap on it.
It was a Microsoft.
It's so stupid.
It's called HoloLens, right?
Yeah.
And then you wear it, and it's a holographic world around you, right? And then you can like interact with it and do things with it. It's the Microsoft-based things, proprietary, so it doesn't go across system. You can't use it with Mac, but
sounds like it could be fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can make calls with people. So if you have them and I have them, I can see you in front of me, and you can see me in front of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's some cool stuff that goes to it, but like,
Yeah, where does this go south? Like, what makes
know,
this
I'm
stupid?
excited thus
I'm
far.
pumped.
I don't know.
Plants are talking to each other, but humans, it's stupid when
It's
they do
so
it.
dumb.
Well, I have an
Was it the
extreme
guy?
feeling. Not really. I have an extreme feeling that the entire hologram that was playing was like it was already like predetermined program. Because while he's talking to the guy that comes into the screen, the picture that he's talking through the thing, like he'll talk, and then he comes back. It was like a script.
Yes.
And then at the end, he goes to talk over top of him. He's like, oh, and you can see that he messed up.
Oh,
So it wasn't like, so who knows if it's really working
how it
that
actually works.
You
Yeah.
guys ever watched videos on YouTube where it's, I think the title is like, watch someone die inside? It's like they're
No.
doing something, they're all excited, and then you have that moment where it goes wrong and they realize they're
Yes.
stupid.
Yes.
God.
Oh,
I went through like 7 or 8 of those one day.
It's so
That's
good.
awesome.
It just traps you in that cycle of playing that same video. It's like the do not watch videos. It's like, do not watch me. It explicitly says that it's like a terrible video, and you're like, can't help but to click
Yeah.
on it.
I'm going to go
Yeah.
ahead and watch
You
you.
can't tell me. I'm going to do whatever I want to do.
I'm going to build you up. You're not terrible.
You know, I get in the cycles of YouTube, and I try to get her to listen to them today. If it ever pops up, I
gosh.
listen to a lot of like off the wall artists. So people that really are not big names, but they'll pop up. Yeah, like Tyler Childers before he ever got famous. Same deal, right? But I like to listen to these terrible
It was
rappers.
so bad.
It is so bad. Or like the terrible sad boy rapper things.
Yeah.
God.
And the music is beyond terrible. I can't express how terrible it is. I guess you got to start somewhere, but
Everything about it was bad. Yeah, I mean, sure, you do have to start somewhere, but maybe don't post everything.
Yeah, I know.
everything you do.
Put some things in your drawer.
The bad thing about YouTube as well is like whatever the keyword of the week is, whatever's like trending, they'll all use it, or they'll be like the title has nothing to do with what the video really is. So they'll say something real catchy, and then the video is like, meh. But you get in the habit of hitting on them. Oh yeah, because
I never knew that.
I neither.
it's an SEO thing where they're like they use the keyword.
It is kind of cool though
catchy.
when you find something like that, because then I feel no guilt just shitting all over it mercilessly.
Do you do it in the comment section?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
This
goodness.
has nothing to do with any of it.
I get in that trap too, reading the crappy
Oh,
comments.
yeah,
that
reading
people,
the
Yes.
comments
Good
is my
God.
favorite thing to do.
I've even I've evolved. Like I do it on Yahoo now too.
Really?
I didn't
Oh,
always.
yeah.
But,
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Steve kind of got me looking in the comment section of things because he was like, I find the best shit there. Like,
It's so good. It's my favorite thing to do. I'll pick some
She
video
will, dude.
that I know
Oh,
is
yeah.
just
I like
horrible.
it more than cooking and my husband.
especially if there's like 100,000 comments.
Yeah.
Like, you can go all day and read that.
Yeah.
I'll do it for not even on videos, but for places in the world. I'll do that.
Man, I saw a Yelp review. I forget what the hell it was, but it was nuts,
Yeah,
man.
just so bad.
I can't even paraphrase it because it's been like a week, but it just made me so happy
If you
because
find it, you gotta
it had
send it to me.
nothing to do with it.
Oh, people go crazy on Yelp, man. Like, it's insane. But, people will go out of their way and jump through hoops to leave a bad review. A lot of people do it under a false name, too. But you know how hard it is to get somebody to write a good review? Like, you do good work, and you can even send them the link, and it's like, they're like, I don't want to do good. But come up with something bad, and you do some crap. Oh, they want everybody in the world.
It's all over.
It's like when they give you the receipt at stores and they're like, here, call this number, give us a review, and we'll give you a little something. If you're mad, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call them. You're like, oh yeah, it was a good experience. I'm not gonna call though.
I'm not calling. I know.
So,
Oh no, go ahead.
So Witcher 3, I went to we went and got the
Witcher.
step up on the laptop, which it plays if anybody's looking for a laptop that plays games very well, I suggest like the Apple, like the bigger one that
The
they have that has
MacBook, what
a
is a
separate
16-inch?
16-inch. It has a separate video card.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I've actually played. I downloaded Counter-Strike Source, not Source, but Go. Counter-Strike Go.
Yeah.
I've been playing the hell out of it. Actually, I've only played it twice, but it's more than I play anything else in the world.
Yeah,
right?
technically you have been playing the hell out of it.
Played it twice.
I've been thinking about it's one of those things I gotta like. No, we'll do it after I like this or after I work on the art, whatever. Because I'm like I don't want to get addicted. So it's a good whatever. I don't know where I was going with the Apple thing though.
You had said Witcher 3.
Oh, so I went to go download it. I'm like, finally, I can try this game that you've been talking about. And sure enough, it is only a Microsoft game. They will not allow you to download it on Mac. Because Mac is very picky with what they put on their system as far as
So
apps
Witcher
and
3
games.
sucks. Don't play it.
No. I'll choose Witcher 3 over Apple any day.
Whatever.
I love
That's
Apple, but they
stupid.
can eat my ass.
I would say like, I just say because I love Apple's operating system.
Yeah, it's great.
So if you have that and I can play games, like it's great. And you can hook a wireless controller to it, cross all like PlayStation, Xbox, whatever you want to use. But I mean, there's a hell of a lot of Microsoft laptops to do it, and Alienware and all that crap.
Alienware is pretty cool. I never actually used it. I just like to look at it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the way their towers and everything that they make, I love it. But yeah, it plays games like flawlessly, and the Wi-Fi on these are like, I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah, there was a time when I wasn't too poor to have a working laptop, and then it ran everything great.
Really.
Yeah,
And that was what year was that? Like 2009 or 10? I try to remember that one, but
it all runs together. I don't remember the years.
hey, did you still have it?
Yeah, it's around somewhere.
I wonder. We're gonna try to trick Apple into fixing it under the Apple Care thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
that'd
try
be cool.
to do that.
It would be fun to kind of like dig in to what the hell I had on it.
That'd be like stepping in a time machine. I go if I find like a old hard drive and stuff, I love digging down into that because you put so much crap on it you never touch.
Yeah.
In years.
And then the way you're still in it, you're like, I don't need to look at this. And then you find it later, you're like, oh my God, it's all so interesting.
And you can't stop stuff from you remember the old MP3 players that you remember those?
Yes.
Yeah, nobody uses them anymore. Not really.
Well, there are some people in the warehouse that use them.
Oh, still keep them?
Yeah.
That's it's like I used to have like 5 of them, right? Because I kept getting different ones, like, oh, this is better, blah.
Yeah.
But you would dump like music on one, dump music on it, and they were all from a different time period, so they were like 2 years apart or a year apart.
Yeah.
And then you find the one that you first had, and you go back and you listen to all the '90s music and that crappy stuff that you had on there from whatever time period your emotions were in.
You know exactly what you were going through.
Oh yeah, it takes you right back. There's this band I used to listen to, 12 Stones. I still listen to them, and I would only listen to them when I was in like a depressed mood. And still, if I get in a down mood, I'm like, yeah, kick on some 12 Stones.
Didn't their singer, wasn't he on that Evanescence song, or was that someone else?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. He's the guy yelling in the background.
I don't even like either one of those bands.
Yeah. Whatever happened to Amy Lee, man?
I feel like I used to actually know.
We've seen her on some like Red Rock acoustic deal where she was singing like cover song or some stuff, and I'm like, damn. I think she had like kids and was like,
I feel like she'd be more successful in Japan.
Probably.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, those 2 videos. There was something else that I read. Me and Sarah were talking about the medical marijuana deal and would it pass or anything. Yeah. This is some stupid bullcrap. You ready for this? So the state Senate president, our state Senate president, Robert Stivers, right? He said, he suggested that he believes further research is needed into medical marijuana's effectiveness before it should pass, right? Before it becomes legal. What do you mean? Like all these states that pass all this research they've done. What do you mean, you idiot?
There was something, it's been a while since I've read it, but they said that there's no proof that it improves your appetite, that it helps with anything.
There's no proof.
I swear they said there's no scientific proof that shows these things.
So I think you might be right with all these other states doing it.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah. This is medical. Okay, then don't legalize it medically. Legalize it recreationally.
Yeah,
if anything, look at all these other states.
Yeah.
It's scientifically proven fun.
You know what's good about it, though? See how it's on a priority list, like the lowest priority list now in the state. Just wait until the federal government's like, all right, we don't care anymore. It's legal, right?
Yeah.
Well, when you do it, it's at the state's discrepancy, right?
It still will be illegal.
Yeah, but it doesn't, you know what I mean? If it's a low priority, we'll just grow it in your backyard. Like,
right?
You're not going to get a federal charge now, so to hell with them. You can do a little bit of jail time.
You can take a misdemeanor and move on.
Yeah, that's all it's going to be.
I know.
You can do it.
It's so dumb. When I was reading the stuff after it went through the House of Representatives, they said that they were concerned that if it's voted in, which the majority of Kentucky's Republicans anyway, oddly enough, in the House of Representatives, it's still a lot
Majority.
of the Republicans. I think it was like 40 or 50 of them voted yes on it. The first time around.
I'd like to think they're at least thinking it's a beneficial cash crop.
You would think.
Money, baby.
But they said that their concern with making it medically okay is then recreational. And basically, they just didn't want to even address it. They dreaded having to talk about that.
Well, see, even though I think they're idiots, I could see making an argument for not wanting to make it medical.
Yeah.
Because then, if somebody has like a negative time with it, then it just kind of cuts down the credit of the state.
Right.
You're like, you told us this. But then
work.
Again, I guess with all the other shit that they fucked up.
That has a 0.01% success rate, and you still give that stuff to everybody that comes in and says, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
That's all the pharmaceuticals in the world with all the insane list of negative side effects.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, time and time again, they have no problem with people
Anal
popping
leakage,
that stuff.
Increased desire for suicide.
Yeah.
Okay, then I got one for that, right? This goes in the same line. I picked one out. Okay, 100 million people in the U.S. have diabetes, right? Or pre-diabetes. Diabetes. 70% of Americans are overweight, 40% are obese, and heart disease is the #1 killer in this Western world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
$9 trillion for the nutrition industry, which just falls under dietary, everything to do with nutrition. It's a $9 trillion business. So diets, weight loss, you name it. It all falls under it.
Yoga
Now,
pants.
check this out. So it's apparently there was a story that I read that when we introduced the Western way of eating, like McDonald's, Taco Bell, and all that, into the Eastern world, the tribes and stuff, they got overweight. They had diseases that come from us, like the overweight diseases, diabetes, all that stuff. And then the minute they went back to eating what they normally did and killing their own food and growing it, they lost the weight. They stopped having as many. Anyways,
Right.
I thought this was a crazy fact that Bayer, you know, the
Yeah.
big drug company,
The heart medication.
yeah, they just bought Monsanto.
Monsanto.
Yeah, the largest food company, which is they bought it for $63 billion. It's a quarter of the world's food supply, right?
Oh,
Bayer bought that
God, I
crap.
hate that.
Yeah. So they bought it, and that's what they said. Like it's known, just like when the cigarette companies pay doctors to say that it cleans your teeth,
Right.
it
Yeah.
cures a sore throat and all that. Same thing's happening here, where they want us to want our food like that, and go through the fast food line more than we do, cook at home or grow our own food. They don't want that.
Right.
They want you to be sick. Like, why wouldn't you pass marijuana at this point? You'll make billions off the industry. Why not do
If
it?
nothing else, I mean, with lungs, so throw some money into pulmonary industry. I mean, it makes no sense to me. That's really jacked up. I really hate everything you just said. I
Dude,
mean,
when I was like looking into it, I was like, there's no way that this is real. It just baffled me that it goes like, and it still is going like that. Like
Yeah.
even the people who said that they synthesized this or that, and they found the root, what our food consists of. So they narrowed it down to its smallest, whatever. I forgot the word, but yeah,
Smallest whatever.
yeah, I forgot the damn word, but all that stuff was a ploy in order to get us to buy the vitamins and buy the supplement and cut out fat and all that. Like Kellogg, the same guy, like he demonized fatty foods and trans fats and all that. That Kellogg's did that, and he also said that eating protein caused you to jack off excessively or
Shut
whatever.
up.
Yeah, like
Great.
masturbation, obsessive masturbation.
That is
Like you can become
awesome.
addicted to
So
it.
it's cheaper than Viagra.
Yeah, the guy that started Kellogg, I think Henry Kellogg, I think his name,
I
maybe.
don't know. What is that?
That does sound. That sounds good.
Yeah, but in order to sell his cereal, he demonized protein that came from animal,
Yeah.
and he was like, you have to get it from plants. It's the only plant protein that matters. And protein was like demonized by him.
And
Will.
people will follow it.
Will Kellogg.
I don't know. It was Henry.
Henry,
You were right.
Henry
Will.
Will Keith Kellogg.
She can't
there
read
you
the
go.
internet. You were right.
Henry Will Kellogg.
Yeah.
No, but there's a lot that goes into that. You know what I mean?
There is.
Yeah.
That's just your food industry. Now think about all the crap that goes on
Well,
that they want you to.
I mean, think about how much is impacted by food. I mean, every aspect of your life is impacted by food. The way you feel, what you do that day. I mean, I know if I decide to eat McDonald's, it's
I
a
feel
wrap.
like, dude,
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap, dude. I'm
we've
not doing
gone
anything.
like 6 months before, right, without eating fast food.
Fast food,
And
yeah.
we'll say all fast food. We ate at home or whatever. But one time out of that 6 months, we decided to eat McDonald's, and I
Yeah.
swear to God to you, I kid you not, we went to sleep for 8 hours.
Yep.
Aside from going to sleep at night for 8 hours because we were so
We felt
internally bad.
Yeah.
we felt bad.
I did that. Like I gave up fast food and stuff for like a year or two.
Yeah.
And then I went back to it and I was like, oh my God. I feel like hell.
Yeah.
And then I just kept eating it. Now I feel fine.
Well, yeah, it's insane to me. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
I don't know if it's crazier to me that we eat the shit, that we're told to eat the shit, or the fact that we feel bad
And then
and
continue
say,
to do it.
yeah, I'm just going to keep on keeping on.
Better than cooking and doing dishes.
Right. I mean,
so sad, man. Really.
it makes
sad.
no sense.
But
Yeah.
we've said for
I
the
like
last 2
cooking.
years that we were gonna create a garden and grow our own vegetables, and we're still like, it's much
Don't do
easier
it.
just to buy it at the store.
We eat a shit ton of vegetables though, but I mean, think about, because I go to the store, if not both of us, but almost every day, because I buy vegetables fresh and I use them that night, and I'm always there. If we grew broccoli and red peppers and carrots,
Be healthy as shit.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we'd save so much money.
It's scary to think that they have that much control, and what they've taught us for so long. Not only did they teach us, but they taught our parents and our grandparents about so much that was wrong, and it was a lot of misinformation. So we're still trudging out of a century's worth of false information
Right. And
that
how
was
are you
benefiting them.
And how
instead
are
of
you
us.
supposed to know that the information now is accurate? I
Yeah.
mean,
How-
if it
how do
was
you
wrong
trust?
for all those years,
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I've noticed that in this distrust that I've grown against the government and all that, you try to like step back and be like, am I being irrational? Am I like,
Yeah.
because they've demonized conspiracy theorists, right? But when the conspiracy is real, like they're real time mind control and keeping you sick and all this, like, why do you think healthcare is through
That
the
smells
roof?
awesome.
Oh, I know, right? It makes you
Sorry to
hungry.
interrupt you, but Jesus, dude.
That's some real
it's
cooking.
about to be great.
Yeah, then you
Massive.
kind of like intellectualize it
with
because you're like,
love.
am I being irrational? I don't want to
Right.
be irrational, but this
Right.
thought, it's like,
They make me feel like I'm crazy because they made that like a thing. So not only
Yeah.
have they brainwashed you to do a certain thing, they've also brainwashed you and everybody else to
Yeah.
demonize those type of thoughts. Like if you think outside that, you got to think that something's wrong with
Yeah.
you.
If you say this, any one of these things,
Yeah.
you're crazy.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
And then if you go outside of the realm of, you don't go to church, you don't believe in this and that, well, you don't belong and you live
I'm
a terrible
a
life.
heathen, dude. I'm surprised they
Yeah.
haven't busted in our house
Damn
and taken me
heathen.
down.
It makes you wonder, and it's like I don't want to distrust. Like now that we've started, okay, back to my one point real quick, the fact that everybody's
no
like
rush, buddy.
killing it
Right.
because healthcare is so high. Like we spend so much on healthcare, and then you got to think about that. So they make all this terrible food so cheap and so delicious and all that. They're like, you got to eat it, and they advertise. And then they make the healthcare so high because they're like,
Right.
well, we'll take them on the back end, like make all this cheap ass food.
And now,
get
if
'em on
you
the
don't
back
have
end.
health care, you have to pay at the end of the year,
Yeah.
which is just ridiculous.
So we just keep taking.
That's some gangster shit.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh, well, there's a way around it. And I'm just not lucky and stuff. So they made you feel like if you're not there and you can't pay for it, that you're not lucky, you're not good enough, you're not a part of the
Not
1%.
worthy. Yeah.
How long until they try to pull that shit with affordable housing?
Oh,
If you don't
God.
live in affordable housing, we're going to charge you $700 at the end of the year.
Oh, they'll just keep
Can't-
doing it.
It's like a homeless tax.
Yeah.
Dude.
Seriously.
If you're in the government out there, just go ahead and eat a dick and die.
And
Unless-
don't call us.
Yeah, don't call us.
Don't call us. Our phone lines are closed to you, bitch.
Bitch.
Yeah.
That's like a buddy of mine texted me about the coronavirus, and immediately I was upset. I'm like, because I effectively try to stay away from news outlets in that manner. Like, I don't want to be told the news. I don't want you to down my day. You know what I mean? I deal with my own internal problems. I don't need you like giving me like coronavirus and whatever forest fire
Updates
and all
and
that.
shit.
I don't need that, right? So I try to stay away from it. He's like, what do you think about it? I was like, honestly, I think that it's a big ploy. I don't even think it's as bad as like it's H5N1, so it's
Right.
a part of the SARS group. It's not even as bad as the flu at the moment. Like it's not even that bad. It could grow to that maybe, but
Right.
they're blowing it out of
Well,
proportion.
yeah, and every time I open Google on my phone, it has like suggestions of you should
Yeah.
read this shit based off stuff I've read before. But it throws the coronavirus stuff
All
in
the
there.
time.
I
Yeah.
read one article because I wanted to see what it was,
Yeah.
and now it's constantly on there. It's like now
Got
this
another one for
state
you.
Well, now
has
you just hit the little 3 dots in the corner and say, I don't want to see any more stories about it.
Oh,
Because I do that
cool.
with Supernatural with new episodes.
yeah.
Look,
But,
so I got you
Thank
for
you.
this one. Look. So not only do that, so it already started when Trump got in office, right? He was like, China is bad. This trade whatever agreement,
Yeah.
they couldn't come. All that stuff. He demonized China then, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess where this super coronavirus, blah, 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 started? China. They're like, well, it started there in a bat soup. A bat soup did it. And they say, there's no
Bat soup.
Bat soup.
bat, B-A-T.
Bat soup.
Yeah, bat
Yeah.
soup.
Oh, yeah.
I
Like
know.
a bat soup actively started just passing it out to people.
That's what it said. All
Like
these
it's
myths.
walking around.
But
It's
who do you
using
think's
its
starting
soup
the myth?
sonar to
Right.
get to people.
Look, this
They're
one
demonizing
just
China.
perfect example. 10 people in Jefferson County self-monitoring for
Self-monitor, yeah.
coronavirus. No symptoms present.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Why is this?
Because they want to be a part of the news.
Well, did
They
you
gotta
see?
be-
I saw a statistic. It was on the news the other day. They were talking about the coronavirus, and like abroad, people are dying. But it said of all the cases in the United States, nobody's died.
No.
Yeah, no.
So it's just because China has shitty health care and they're trying to
Yeah,
hide it
seriously.
instead of helping their people.
or no one here has it.
Yeah.
Tell me how you know that it's coronavirus, please.
Yeah. I know.
Please,
Because
yes.
I mean, if I had it, I would just sit around my house and I'd have it.
Yeah,
and then
I'd
I'd
never
get
know.
over it. And then I'd say, well,
Yep.
that was probably just a really rough cold.
Yeah, that sucked.
Even in China, like I
could
think it
have
was reported
hepatitis A.
six deaths in China because of it. And no, there's not saying that there wasn't like underlying or they had pneumonia on top of it or old age or none of. They're not taking any of that into effect. They're just like 6 people died. But it says the flu kills 650,000 people annually. So
Yeah.
650,000 a year
Yes.
die from the flu.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
think we're worried about the coronavirus at the moment. Like, why are they
know.
turning our attention away? What are they?
What
turning
are
our
you
attention-
doing, dude?
Or are they trying
Yeah.
to demonize China further?
I think they're just trying to sell face masks.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, they're like, we got all these respirators. What will we do?
What will we do?
Every picture I've ever seen in China, they're all wearing face
Masks,
masks
yeah.
all the time.
And apparently, so if you see the person wearing like the surgical mask only, it does absolutely nothing. All
Yeah.
it does is stop like facial hair from falling out or your skin cells from falling
Right.
onto whatever you're working on. You actually have to have a respirator
Yeah,
in order
it's-
to protect yourself.
It's not keeping things from going in.
You
Yeah.
fair-haired bastards want to keep your beard on? Buy a face mask.
Face mask.
My beard keeps falling off.
I got
Yeah,
you.
What do you trust, man? And that's why I try not to have an opinion about none of that. Like I take in that information, but
You try not to have an opinion?
no, like in the sense that like judge on that certain thing. Like I'll take it in and like try to practice the art of viewing my thoughts and viewing my opinions
Yeah.
and just let them float on through. Because really, when it comes down to it, so if I have an opinion, like serious opinion, like people who try to fight the anti-vaxxers and shit like that,
Yeah.
and they go on to fight this parade of blah blah blah. blah. Anyway, like why? When it comes down to why does it matter? Why should I down you
Yeah.
one way or
It
another?
is kind of weird. It's like, why do those people care so passionately about something?
Passionately. It's
Especially-
probably because they ain't got nothing else to live for. They're like,
Right?
I was just having 8 or 9 kids. Might as well complain about the one that died.
It's the one thing you gotta stop saying that shit. It's one kid. I know we don't like kids, but if one of your children die, whether you have 75 or you have 3,
Yeah.
it's gonna be detrimental because
Unless you
it's a
think you
piece
had
of you.
52.
Well, here's something that I've been thinking lately, right? Because I've been seeing this. Here's something that I thought lately. Like, okay, so if we have a child, say we have 8 of those kids, and the 9th one dies, right?
So wait, you go from 1 kid to 8. Now the
No,
ninth
no.
one's dead.
We have 8. We have another kid. That kid dies, right?
Okay.
But we still have 8.
Yeah.
Just the 9th one didn't really make it. We have
It
8
didn't
healthy
really.
kids. If
Halfway.
you continuously just shoved it in my face and know it, like you're fighting this thing and you brought up the name every single day and you're wearing it on the shirt, you're all the time, I would lose my
called
shit
obsession.
and leave you
Yeah.
because I don't want to think about the dead baby 24/7.
No.
So stop thinking about the dead baby.
Right. Please move
Yeah,
on.
let's
Like
move
it's
on.
okay. I think that's hard for people though to move on past any kind of grief, really. Some people really struggle with it, and I can't imagine losing something that's literally part of you. I mean,
Come out of your vagina.
And then there's
Yeah.
the weird thing where like grief becomes comfortable.
Yeah.
And then you don't feel grief, and it's like, whoa, what's this? I'm feeling better. I got to dig back into that
Gotta
grief.
dig that back
people
into
feel
that dark-
guilty
Yeah,
for
it becomes identity.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they start feeling guilty for, moving on
Yeah,
with
I'm
their
not
life.
sad enough 9
Yeah.
months later.
Yes, seriously.
Yeah.
It's really a horrible thing.
But like the wreck, like every day, there's a time in the day, whether I'm driving or whatever, I'm thinking about it, right?
Right.
And the other day, I was getting mad at the fact, like I wasn't in the moment. I should have been more mad or whatever, because I try to keep an open mind to the situation, be like, oh, it was just an accident and stuff. I'm like, well, I wasn't mad enough, and then I started beating myself up, and I'm like, what right do I have to let that affect me? Like, this is my future. I'm actually in my future.
Right.
What
We're
right
there.
do I have to let that affect
Well,
me?
you have every right. It's just a stupid choice.
Right. If you choose to
Trust
do it, I
me,
guess, right?
Yeah, and you don't want to be. I'm mad about it. I've been mad
yeah.
from day one about it, which is crazy because I'm not typically like that. But I'm
Yeah.
furious. I was so
Yeah.
glad. I was concerned
Well,
when we
Adam
went.
was a little too wrecked for my liking.
Yes. When we went to mediation, I asked him, I said, the driver's not going to be here, right? Because I'm not doing it.
But it's
He will not walk out of this room.
you can't let it. I don't know. I'd love to let it
My
affect
man's
me
getting
and be
secondhand
like,
vengeance.
I'd love to let it affect me and like really be like, well, screw that, and then like freak out every time I'm in the car. But when I'm freaking out, I try to internalize it and compartmentalize. That way, I don't let it affect my future being. Like if I do, it's going to affect everything. If I keep doing it, eventually I'm going to get hit by another truck because I'm bringing it up all the damn time.
Right? Yeah.
How
And
much
it
do you
just
think
gets
that
in-
actually
yeah.
does affect life, like thoughts and
yeah.
like drawing in shit?
Very much.
yeah.
I
Every
swear
day.
Because they're kind of,
the week before we got hit, I had been thinking constantly about, I've never been in a major accident, a car accident before, ever. That's crazy to me. I couldn't believe it. And I kept thinking about it, which it could just be coincidence that it
No.
happened then.
Every real thing on earth was thought. Like was
Well,
a thought at one point.
I mean, to
Every
be
physical
fair
thing.
though, for a stretch of like 5, maybe 7 years, I would wish for the same thing.
Right.
Every time.
Never happened.
Never happened.
No.
I gave up.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
I think, but I think wishing in a sense is different than thinking, internalizing it, having it a
thought
part of your emotion.
obsessively.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, what was it?
No, I don't know.
It's none of your business.
No.
But it never happened.
Yeah. Oh! Saved it!
Look at you. You told me to be quiet whenever I walked out, and you're going to.
My man's a savior.
But I think in a sense, I guess it depends on how you think. But I do believe that your thought has a lot to do with what happens in your life.
It could have to do. Okay, so like the idea of the bad habits. It takes longer to break a bad habit than to form a good one. So it takes longer to attract a good thought than a bad thought.
Yeah.
But I think
Most
immediately
definitely, yeah.
Science.
when you
Science.
put it out into the universe, that initial thought, that energy, it's not up to you for that to come, right? So the universe will work it out however it works it out. Eventually, whatever you wish for in one way or another will happen, right?
Yeah.
Not even wish for, but thought about and really wanted to come to fruition. Like eventually it will, but it's in the universe's time. Like the universe will work out that thought. And that's what I just think, that everything that's here on earth that has ever been put on earth by man was a thought at one time.
Right.
But
This
that's all
was a
it
thought at one point.
That
in
was a
time.
thought.
This was a
Yeah.
thought, and now he's
Glorious thought.
a little winding
Little windy toy.
little chicken bunny.
It's something else though that I wanted to bring up, because I always talk about those motivational videos, and apparently, being told, there's a scientific study that shows that being told that you can achieve anything you want as long as you're positive is one big lie. Right. So
Seriously?
the more that you're positive about something, the more that you think, oh, I can do anything and I can make it happen. The minute when adversity hits, right?
Yeah.
The minute it hits, you end up giving up.
Oh, well, yeah.
The people who go into a situation and think about all the bad outcomes that can come, all the bad things that can, come in the way of achieving your goal, are like 90-something% more successful than the people who think, well, anything's
I
possible.
don't
It's
like
like-
how it's worded though, because I'm a very positive person, but very realistic as well.
Well, anything is
That's it,
possible.
yeah.
But you also have to accept that failure is inevitable in
Right.
some
Yep.
degree.
Yes.
And then
I
you just
also-
take up the school of Jay-Z's thought. You know?
That's right. The school of Jay-Z, just
Yeah,
period.
Z.
Yeah. Because even with failure, I mean, for me anyway, I feel you learn more from
Oh,
failures than you
absolutely.
do
Yeah.
successes. Okay, and now I know what not to do. So what can I do differently this time around?
I think that's what it's saying though. If you fill yourself with only positive thoughts, that's why a lot of people, you know, at the beginning of the year, they have all these like goals. Ooh,
Oh
do
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
That's why the gym's full of
Immediately.
people.
Yeah,
Full
immediately
of fat people.
that adversity hits and they're like, "Pfft, done. It's good to be positive. Like you want to be positive, so you keep a positive outlook. But know that adversity is going to hit. It's going to be hard, and
Yeah.
you have to persevere.
I'll have this 3 years from now, but I'll probably break an ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah, along the way, and that's okay.
So the Stoics believe that you live in your suffering the minute
yeah.
you wake up.
Yeah.
I do like
Wake
the
up.
Stoics. They're
Yeah,
cool.
They're
I'm
pretty
cool. I'm
solid.
cool with their ideals. Like, yeah, if you live by that and you wake up in your darkness, then nothing else beyond dying is
Yeah.
gonna
Right.
like affect you. So you're good.
That's why people that have had the roughest lives, and
Yeah.
they're fine.
Yeah.
And part of the problem is that people think, okay, because of the secret, they think all I have to do is think about this and it'll happen.
Yeah.
Disregard the action, disregard the planning, disregard the whole setting a goal.
The rest
and,
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, part of setting a goal is thinking about obstacles that'll come up and
Yep.
how are you going to deal with those
How are you gonna deal
obstacles
with
when
them
they come up.
if then? Like
Yes.
if that happens, what am I
Then
gonna do then?
exactly. And people don't think about that part. They're like, well, I'll just throw it on a board.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
look at it every
Vision
day
board
when I
time.
get up.
I
And
could just ask my brain for it.
yeah, I'll have a Lamborghini at the end of the week. That's not how it works at all.
Yo, but that's how they'll make you believe, and they sold millions. Like I think that's right up there with the Bible, like the secret. All
Yeah.
these self help people, like they sold that like it was the Bible.
Yeah.
And given like that's Steve Harvey and Oprah and all these people, they believe in that, but they were like immediately you have to take the action
Yeah.
and you have to persevere when adversity hits.
Yeah. Have you guys ever thought about how stupid it is that the three of us don't write a self-help book together and sell it to people?
Oh, we
Totally
should.
should.
Yeah.
We need to do that.
Buy our shit.
But that's what it's going to be called. Oh, goodness.
Buy this book and all your dreams will come true. Yo, that food is tearing me up. I'm ready to eat it.
No.
Y'all ready to eat?
Yeah.
Oh, we're ready
Yeah.
to
It's,
eat
like
up in
it
here.
is getting harder to think.
Uh-huh.
I know, with that stomach
It's
growling.
just
and the
seeping
food.
into me.
Chia.
I'm trying to see if I had anything like that I made note of that I had to do, but I'd really.
I wanted to tell you about Shim Sham Redemption. We watched the like, hang on, dude, I gotta take a picture. We were watching one of those criminal shows that I enjoy. Thank you. And the guy, it was I'm a Killer is what it's called. I Am a Killer. And the guy, he's
I was like, you can't see my hands.
I don't know the right word. I don't want to say legally mentally retarded,
Oh, no, he was
but
retarded
he's
as shit.
his IQ was like 50 or something
Officially.
like that. Officially, thank you. Yeah.
It's on paper.
It's very, very low. So he's incarcerated. He's telling a story and everything. And at the end of it, he's talking about the cat. He's got this little cat. It's like the yard cat or whatever, dorm cat. And his name was Duff, named after Andy Dufresne from the Shim Sham Redemption.
He called it that. Shim Sham. And not only did he call it that, but the subtitles were nice
Said
enough.
Shim Sham.
Shim Sham.
Oh,
Yeah. Even though the subtitles know better,
Yes.
they were
That
like, we get it.
guy, he just warmed my heart. If you watch I Am a Killer, you have to watch that one. I'll find what his name is. Good old Shim Sham.
Shim Sham Redemption.
Even though he's a murderer.
Redemption.
that's
Oh,
yeah.
he was just
Adorable.
Precious. Yeah. I just love him.
I know you've taken lives, but come here and get this hug, man.
Yes.
Come on, get this hug.
Come on, Shim Sham.
But yeah, so do you have any?
Oh yeah, I
plug
got
in?
nothing. No. Apparently not.
Next week.
I don't keep track of anything.
Next week we'll be changing the scenery.
Yeah.
We're gonna go on the road. The road.
On the road again.
We'll have a fireplace in the scenery. You know, like
Yeah.
that.
Can't wait to get on
background.
the road
Yeah.
again.
And then we'll have a guest. So Kayla,
Yeah.
what's Kayla's last name?
Kayla Shot.
Yes. I always want to call it Shoot.
Shot? Her last name's Shot?
Shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Not related to Marge Shot. The old lady, former owner
Good
of the
for that.
Cincinnati Reds.
Oh,
She was like an angry racist broad.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be going to
March.
we're gonna be at Ian's abode,
Yes.
That's
The
right.
abode.
and we're gonna do episode 49 there. But we do appreciate you listening to episode 48.
Yeah.
Drop us a comment, all that bull crap. We know you're not gonna do it. Ugh.
Yeah.
We know you're not gonna do it, so that's cool. But I'm gonna say it anyways. Comment, like, share, and hit the notification button.
Subscribe.
All of
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you listening. Ba-da-ba-ba-do-do,
Scat.
ba-da-ba-ba-do-do.
Skitty.
Whoop, 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 whoop,
Dub,
whoop,
dub,
whoop. Wildly uninteresting podcast episode.